on the defense, Envy on the offense.
I mean, very excited to see Changshik, of course, playing on that Winston. Winston play now and then can be incredibly exciting, especially when you see the great primal rages. And Changshik will be definitely building those up very fast against a tightly knit team like Envy, who will move together as one. Straight away, they're going to be moving through the choke, though. Going to catch a couple of mortars from Nice, but he doesn't have the energy to make them too dangerous.
Yeah, Sharp went pretty low there, but they should be all right for the time being. Like you said, Alarm hanging back. Well, not mega health back. You don't really want to move through a Zen there. Nice sight lines for you. Easy discords as well. MB are going to approach themselves on the point, though.
Elevote claiming a presence on the high ground. Changshik leapt in too far, got shield bashed, that's over.
Stan 1's going to go down as well, but Elevote kind of ruling the roost at the time being. You see he's blocking so much damage coming out of that mega health pack as well by just DMing in its direction. Tartar's going to fall as well, and now Bernard is all alone. Same with Sharp, though, instantly. The turnaround from Fusion knew, they saw that Bernard was very low, so they knew the rest of Envy was going to try and capitalize on it.
Big bait from Bernard there, and Nice managing to finish that one off. Changshik has returned to the fight, so Envy know they have to back out here. Got to wait for their respawns to get back in. Sharp's going to have lost his energy, but Nice will maintain his, and not only that, he's got a Graviton ready to go as well. If they see Changshik use his shield here, they'll know that there's very little that can defend anyone caught within that Graviton surge.
You can grab inside the little box as well. Try and grab on the other side of the wall. Self-destruct's going to come in though into the mega health pack. Doesn't quite find anybody. Impact actually forces Alarm to use the Transcendence. Transcendence going off for Team Envy as well, as they do get grabbed by the side of the points. Another Diva one coming out from Bernard. Doesn't find anybody, but clears everybody away. Making sure Sharp can't get the backup that he needs.
I think that was a great feat of self-defense there from Nice. He'd used his personal barrier on the engagement from stand 1. They knew that if they could force out that barrier, the throwing Elevote self-destruct into there would be a great boon. Alarm, though, with his additional speed from the Transcendence, moved between Nice and the self-destruct so that he could block that LOS when Nice gave a protected barrier to an Invincible Zenyatta. Usually that's not a huge boon for Azayu. That's usually a wasted barrier, but in that case it saved his own life and gave him that 40 energy that he needs to keep building up towards these Gravitons. He's almost lapped Sharp at the moment.
Stan 1 goes so aggressive once more. Does get stunned, but is able to get the Primal Rage off. Stan 1 retreating from the rest of his team, and now you can see Team Envy already gaining control of the point, finding one tick. It's going to be up to Fusion University now to try and find something else. Stan 1 in the sidelines just trying to battle out a team. AB Diva, he does manage to find one, and again, Alarm is forced to use the Transcendence, but Elevo still manages to find a kill.
Bernard didn't get the sound barrier, unable to survive for very long. Will be a cleanup here from Team Envy. Some great play from them, but they did invest super heavily to try and make that work, Jaws. They used 4 ultimates in that fight, 3 of them very recently. Stan 1 managed to make his way back up towards that Primal Rage, but Elevo, Sharp, Fire, they're so far away, they're going to have to rely on the momentum but Rally will give them here to get themselves onto this point.
Stan 1 jumps straight to the back line once more. Got to be rather careful now as Changshik trying to bat everybody away. Graviton Surge is going to come out, and that's a whole bunch of damage down onto Stan 1 and Sharp. They end up falling over. Team Envy now, backing off once more.
Envy invested everything they had there. They knew that momentum may well be on their side if they could strike quick and fast, but it doesn't look like they're going to let Crimson get out of this alive. Changshik's actually going to back off, have mercy on the Omnic Monk. And Fusion University going to look pretty good here on the defense. They now have stemmed the bleeding. They have cauterized the wound and ensured that now they're going to be set up for any offense that Team Envy brings their way. Now, it's a lot more difficult for the attacking team, even with the time bank they have, 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Sam on, running straight towards Changshik, who's going extremely low once again. He can kind of control this small archway now, as he does have that Primal Rage to use. If he is in danger, he's going to drop down once more, receive a bubble, and now trying to isolate Changshik with the Primal Rage. He goes for the charge, but look at this boop.
Oh my God,
is he going to get it?
Yes, he is. See ya!
Goodbye. Bernard didn't see that one coming. Stan 1 meeting him up in the skies. Changshik now going so low, and Team Envy a fraction of a percent now away from securing 2 ticks. Both grabs are going to come out, but that Transcendence is going to be all too good to heal the rest of Envy up and see them through that last 33%.
High IQ grab there from Sharp as well, making sure no one could get onto a point to contest. Envy will complete there. And I'm so amazed by the air control that Stand 1 demonstrated there. He got Bernard off at the start. He also managed to get a second hit on him after he got him off to make sure that he was going to be flying a long distance so that it'd be very telegraphed when he went up, because he knew he had to use his perpetual motion to bring him on towards where the stage began again. So he knew that he could get high enough if he leapt up that he could get that hit and have his jump come back off cooldown before he hit the death zone below and then re-engage into the enemy team. Bernard there got absolutely cyberbullied.
Just unfortunate, and that really stopped the defense of Fusion Uni. I mean, you haven't got the divas like a body blocking tool for a lot of your support. You can't eat anything up really with the defense matrix. Signaled the death for Fusion on the defense. However, they do get their chance to attack now. 3 minutes and 51 seconds are in the time bank for Envy.
It's pretty good. They only lost 9 seconds over the course of that. A 4-minute and 9-second completion. It's going to feel pretty good for Team Envy, who want to, of course, go up 2-1 in this series, but the same can be said of Fusion University, and they've got a lot of options as to what they play here. Right now, of course, in the spawn, they are hovering over those classic picks. I'd like to see Changshik go back onto that Winston, who was quite effective there. Stand 1 also so impressive. I love seeing the Winston because, of course, on the LAN client, you're looking at such a high tick rate for that damage that you can often, like, secure those kills that maybe lag would have denied you before.
The perfect environment both these teams and every team that plays on LAN, of course. Right, sure. Fusion University roll out the gate. Standard 3-3 affair.
Changshik going to be on that Reinhardt, but Elivote's already got the scout. They know exactly what they're up against, but of course, when you're with a Reinhardt, that means everyone has to group up behind that shield. Allows for a lot of cleave to come through from Stand 1, who's already commanding the high ground here. Look at that ultimate charge. 40% already. That's brutal.
So much damage too. Although it does feed a lot of ult charge over to the supports as well. Can't deny that. Oh, nice move for Stan 1. No high ground for you.
That much is certain. Stan 1 now going to be playing the main tank game here, getting himself a little bit of space for himself and his team, but high ground's controls, can't back off.
A perfect target focus coming out from the rest of Fusion University, eliminating Stan 1. Now they can just push themselves onto the point, and nice control on these sidelines as well. Just absolute key to stopping MB actually trying to recontest.
Sharp may try to do something here with this energy. Wants to try and make sure he can get a Graviton Surge for the second point, but they're going to engage with the Transcendence here. Sharp's out on his own.
Crimso's going to have to do it. Alarm's Transcendence is going to last a little bit longer now because Crimso used his a little bit later. That Graviton Surge launched into the Mega Room. Changshik taking 3 lives. And that'll be Team Envy now having to reset themselves for the point 2 defense. 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Such a deadly time back to face.
They can at least feel good that Nice had to use his Graviton Surge there to make sure Sharp and Crimso were locked down, but already presence on the point here for Fusion University. Team Envy are going to have to engage into them as if they were attacking Changshik. He knows that no one's going to be there to block his shadow. He can lay this down whenever he wants.
He's got to wait for that shield to disappear, and he does just that. A rallying Jaru is no match for Changshik. It will be a self-destruct from Bernard, trying to claim a little bit more space. Team Envy have 1 member down, and Crimso's extremely low. Stan1's trying to do as much as he can with his Primal Rage, but he's already found all of anything. And now Sharp's going to have to try and carry the fight, grabbing 3 people up and being able to at least kill 1 off, but Bernard getting his mech destroyed here might just halt Fusion University for the time being.
Same for Elibet though. Nice got the energy to play with that control off the Mega Health back. He does have a Graviton Surge. If he can make it past the Diva, I'm pretty sure Elibet still doesn't have his mech, so there's going to be no defense matrix. Fusion University going to have a quick disengage here. They're going to regather their strength, maybe look for Alarm to get an early pick off with that charge shot as he's so known to do. Nice. He's going to lay it down.
Right into the back line. Elibet didn't have his mech up just yet. Sharp is going to fall. The Transcendence out from Crimso to help keep them alive, but interrupt actually on Elivote there as he was trying to remech too. Snillo with a big brain plays, stopping Elivote getting back in, eliminating the baby Diva. And Team Envy are going to cap second.
Crimso ended up in the back somehow, likely using that Transcendence to have a bit of extra locomotion. Nice T, ice cold though, managing to make his way past that defense matrix. He knew that Elivote did not have that. They chased him down so effectively. Bernard sacrificed his own mech to create the opening, ensuring that Fusion Unity could have that quick back off and flowing back in with nice Graviton Surge, catching 3 squishies in that kind of area. It's a huge boon, especially on Volskaya. I think, Jaws, this one's probably going to go the distance in terms of score. We're going to be looking at probably going to go 6-6, maybe 6-7. Yeah, could go 8-8.
Why not?
Who knows when we're looking at these kinds of maps like Assault. Envy will have to attack first again, though they have the shorter time bank by a factor of about a minute and a half.
That was Fusion Uni capping the point, not Envy. Got big side. 3 minutes 51, like you said. 14 Envy. 5-22. Everything's winnable with your Team Envy, though. We've seen them yesterday specifically. Every fight was winnable. They were taking 4v6s and still winning. As long as Elivote's on the field as well, you haven't got many ults that you can really throw out. If there's a pulse bomb, of course, if you see Tracer, Graviton Surges to boot, like, this guy's anything. Got a big appetite.
Yeah, get a Tracer in there. We've casted a lot of Elivo, just eating everything. He's one of the better divas that is available in Contenders, so there's no confusion as to why Team Envy picked him up. Fusion University, though, will once again be playing on the defense with Changshik on that Winston. I love seeing how quickly they build up these Primal Rages, because that can be so good for bisecting a team and trying to isolate someone who's used their movement cooldowns, like a Winston has tried to make an engagement like Stand 1 just has.
Defensive lead from Changshik, trying to get back on the high ground. Saw Stand 1 coming in. Don't want to take any free damage, neither does Elivo. It's one of the main disadvantages of having the Winston. You don't have a permanent shield, so Zaya's going to farm grab a little bit quicker.
Fusion University trying to control the high ground here. Changshik's now used his shield, so he could be in danger. He does take a little bit of damage, and potentially Elivo can hunt him down. That's exactly what's going to happen here as he disengages.
They're already gaining a bit of percentage here on the point. Fusion University have got to try and re-engage. A tick has been acquired already. Stand 1 does end up going down. I'd be pretty happy if I were Team Envy right now. That was basically a free tick. Now they only need 66% before they actually cap.
Yeah, Crimzo can't pick there again. Alarm's got ready with a charge shot. Not going to be picking up anything this time, though, but Fusion University on the defense here. They have managed to get a significant amount of ultimate charge for Nice and Alarm, as they want to do. They hit these shots when they're needed. Fire put on notice, but will not be taken out at this time.
Oh,
again.
That was a nice couple of headshots. Stand 1's going to go down yet again. Now Crimzo is going to fall as well. Very nice pick off. 2 minutes and 35 remaining here. Team Envy just wanting to build up towards ults clearly, but look at the ult bank Fusion U going to have for this next fight. Kaka furthest away, but he's only 20% there.
Did Changshik just pancake 2 people at once with 1 bounce?
I believe.
Maybe knocked them off if they were resetting as well, but still, that's a lot of ultimate charge for Changshik. Fusion University look unbreakable on this defense. They've almost got 6 ultimates ready to go. And Alarm may not have got any final blows with those headshots he was throwing across the point, but you got to remember, that means that Envy had to put some resources into making sure Crimzo and Sharp were well sort of like healed up. That meant Stand 1 did not have those resources. Thankfully, he won't need them for the next fight, because he does have a Primal Rage to try and sustain himself.
There we go. Speaking of Primal Rage, both Zayas have that grab though. Sharp is going to go down though. Graviton Surge solo actually onto Stand 1. That health bar melting away, but they really needed a Discord Orb to actually finish him off there, but it shouldn't matter anyway. Sharp was going to go down first regardless. Got isolated in the sidelines. Crimzo's going to fall as well. Now Team Envy's time bank slipping through their fingers.
Yeah, seems to reassuringly waited at the beginning of this, but still 1 tick is all they have to show for 2 minutes expended. Jaws. Team Envy now going to have a bit of a swap up. Stand 1 no longer wants to play on the Winston, as they're going to go over onto the Reinhardt. This does mean you have greater cleave potential through the Graviton Surge, which Sharp has ready, but Bernard's going to stand ready to try and consume that as it comes in. You can see Fusion University have a command over the high ground here, and they're already being racked by the Tesla cannon.
Oh, Elivo plants the bomb on top of the house, doesn't find anything.
I don't like that sound barrier.
Yeah, it was really late, and now all the shields are decaying anyway. Sharp still has that grab. He's just going to watch out for Bernard. The defense mage is going to come out. It's a 2-second cooldown. He tried to face away, tried to bait him out. It didn't work. There's the beat as well to try and save them. Alarm popping the Transcendence to keep them all alive for a little bit longer. Crimzo with a later Transcendence, providing his team a little bit more healing now. 2 ticks have been acquired. Changshik is going to go down.
But now who's got a grab? Nice almost does. He's ready to lay it down. It could be eaten potentially by Elivo if he's got the eye on it, but he doesn't.
Come in, both supports caught up. Fire shooting at 5,000 DPI, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. Now Nice is on the sidelines. He's isolated, but the rest of Team Envy are as well. They're going to get picked off. Alarm's going to find 2. 19 seconds, someone's going to have to touch, but I don't actually think they can.
They got another tick, Jaws, and they got a couple of percent as well. 85.7 in the bank, but only 10 seconds between themselves and defeat. Jaru's just reset himself. He's only just respawned. He won't be able to get back to
5 seconds.
It's got to be Elivo who does it, or Fire making his way through. They're controlling Elivo.
They booped him.
Touch.
They booped him. They booped him again. Fire's going to come in as Alarm finds the kill. Someone needs to touch again. Stand 1. This is the charge.
It's not there.
Round 3 is completed.
Beautiful.
Team Envy get 2 ticks and just a smidgen more. And now, clear win condition, 5 minutes and 22 seconds too. Fusion University.
Basically just cap first.
Easy game.
That is easy game. That was some really good control as well onto Elivo. Thankfully, Elivo demanded so much attention that Fire could slip through undetected, but the second he touched that point, it was instantly executed. He was disintegrated, absolutely exsanguinated by the forces of Fusion University, who quickly cleaned up any stragglers, as well as getting the control that they needed to make sure that overtime would just tick down, regardless of whether a fight was won or not. But this remains, as Team Envy like to say, winnable. All they need to do is defend first, or defend 85.8% of first for 5 minutes and 22 seconds.
Nice.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. Still
Especially
winnable,
against Fusion Uni.
Demand for perfection is at an all-time high for Team Envy. Fusion University, they can as well, and they honestly, like you said, they've got luxury of time. They could just build up to 6 ults, try and force Team Envy to use 1 or 2 of theirs, because they are really in the seat where they need to be able to defend. They can't just get rolled over vanilla style, of course, so Fusion University can take these dry fights in and try and force these ultimates out, then just take the fight with all 6 and then just roll all over them.
Not only that, Team Envy might not have the luxury of being able to disengage too much if they can give up a tick. Every time they give up a tick, Fusion Uni will grow closer to having captured this point. And now Fusion Uni just going to take a calm rotation, may try and play up on the high ground, take that away from Team Envy. Alarm's going to hit a couple of orbs as he wants to. And now Team Envy needs to decide whether they want to defend this from. Still, seems like they're still going to play split between the Mega Health Pack and the high ground above the point.
This is playing pretty slow, which is pretty good.
That's
a charge by Shungsik. Oh, stun on Elivo as well. He's actually in a little bit of an issue there. However, Stam 1's at his back. He's still going extremely low. Didn't actually see where he was getting shot from, but Stam 1 still managed to take out Snillo. Flame Strike hitting through the shields.
Not too bad right there. Does mean that Elivate may have a chance to get that mech back by using the Bunny Blaster. Can also put down a significant amount of damage on Reinhardt shield, because Bunny Blaster doesn't actually suffer from damage drop-off. But Elivate knows that he doesn't really have the chance to reset right now, because soon Snillo will be back. And it means that he's going to take a while to get back on the Diva. Fusion University going to roll right on in, and they have a small time where Elivo doesn't have this mech, where they've got a distinct advantage.
Oh, Shungsik playing so defensively. Crimzo is going to go pretty low as well. Look at Shungsik. Stam 1 just... What? He's dead already. He just got rolled over. There was nothing he could do, and now Shungsik has the shatter as well. Transcendence coming out from Alarm to see them through the fight, and now Snillo using that rally as well. It's going to be so hard to actually re-engage. The shatter's going to land. The shield bash is going to stop him for a time being, but Jaru tanks the pin and is going to go down as well if he's not careful.
Got a touch point.
Alarm and Nice, they're going to clean on up. And Fusion University are now on match point.
They just decided to beeline for Stam 1. We'll kill him eventually, right? Shungsik is going to get a shatter. I would have liked to have seen him wait out a little bit longer for Sharp to use that personal bubble, because, of course, he did manage to block the shatter himself and make sure that Elivote would have been protected. But a very strange boop right there meant that he ended up catching Jaru with that pin, getting a lot of burst damage delivered. It wasn't enough to get the kill, though, because, of course, you only do about 397 damage against the armor with the pin, and he had 350 HP thanks to the rally. Still, Fusion Uni, with their target focus, did manage to win that one out eventually. And I do like that sort of engagement that they made by having Shungsik charge over the gap between the high ground and that which was over the mini health pack, so that they could just force everyone from the side of Envy off of that particular area.
It was all about the pressure onto Stam 1, not only his shield, but himself as well. I mean, especially when you're under that kind of pressure, you can, you know, back yourself off to the mega health pack room. Issue is, then what do you give up? You give up space. You give up time on the point. No one's contesting in that situation because Elivote had lost his mech as well. And then Shungsik is just swinging into you as well. He's generating so much ult charge. What do you do after that? He's got a shadow ready and raring to go. Stam 1 just has to play defensive, and then it's all up to Alarm and everybody else. Pummel the shield, and then it's GG from there.
Yeah, they're just sort of like shooting fish in a barrel. They're all in there with a mega health pack, and Stam 1, unfortunately, not able to make much use of the more healing that was available to them. Perhaps someone else picked it up, but even if someone else picked it up, that means more resources are available for Stam 1, and that's just a testament to how much damage Fusion Uni are doing, that they can beat out Stand 1 in that particular sort of play there. But what was also really instrumental was that we saw Elivote trying to make a disengage, and he was stunned the second that he used his boosters. And that meant that he couldn't get away. He could only try and slowly walk away, and he took a lot of damage doing so. And then Bernard went off on a flank, managed to get the D-mech onto him. And when that mech isn't available, you can't either fire strikes. That means Shungsik's going to have the priority when it comes to the Earth Shatter, and you can't boot people away when they come for a deep engagement onto your tank.
Well, let's have a look at a small precision test that was ran a little later on between Fusion and Titans.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Welcome back, everybody, to Envy versus Fusion University. And those little precision tests, the strength tests versus all the teams, they will be calculated, their scores a little bit later on. In fact, tomorrow, and we'll see who actually comes out on top. So technically, there'll be 2 champions of the Showdown.
Yeah, maybe EU can actually win something. That would be great for us.
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, of course, here at Atlantic Showdown, we are playing for the Gauntlet spots, which is going to be held at the Giga Arena in Seoul, host of the legendary Apex seasons of the past, so we can all go and get it again, or at least a couple of teams can, and everyone's going to be fighting for that additional spot for their region. They're not fighting as much for personal invites as much for invites for their region, which will be claimed by the top winners of the coming Contender seasons.
Well, Fusion University currently are on match point. Let's have a look what map Envy did choose to go to next. Will be Rialto, okay, for our escort map. Rialto's another interesting one. A lot of comps can be run on this. We see a little bit of El Presidente sometimes, see the bashing on the payload, but more often than not, we are seeing goats. However, maybe a little bit of Elivo Farah. You can use those buildings to such good effect, being able to hide around from DPS threats such as a Widowmaker or an Ashe, or any long-range shots, obviously, from someone like Alarm on the Zen. Might just see a little bit of that.
Yeah, I'd call that fairly likely. Rialto can lend itself to some experimentation, and Philadelphia Fusion Union's parent team, of course, have run to great success a Winston defense on Rialto, which they could have potentially shared strategies for. We do know that Chungshik is pretty dominant on the Winston right now over Stan 1. He was doing very well there on Volskaya Industries. I forgot the name of the map.
It's okay.
But of course, Fusion Union are now on match point, so Envy, they're hanging on by a thread. They've got to win this and then win a tiebreaker to get to be the first who gets to 3.
It's going to be a tall order for Envy. If Elivo continues to do what he does best and eat grabs, might just be a map win for them to send them to a game 5. We'll have to wait and see, though. Let's get into game.
The beautiful streets of Rialto, well, the beautiful rivers of Rialto, I guess. What are these called? Canals?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Well, there you go. Learn something every day, eh?
Today we have learned, and we've learned many things today, but most of them I won't repeat, otherwise a couple of people will hate me.
Team Envy on the offense, Fusion Unity on the defense.
Elivo.
Uni running out with the same sort of thing. Not too much of a surprise here. Team Envy, though, going to run Jaru on the Widowmaker, try and get an initial pick. If you can't find anything, I imagine he's going to go change out. Elivo as well, actually, on the Baptiste. Just put the Immortality field down to make sure, you know, Alarm doesn't click your head straight out of spawn. Yeah, but second with Jaru peaks, there was a danger that Alarm could have hit him with a couple of those orbs. Immortality field, of course, made sure they weren't going to waste 10 seconds where they would have had to wait for Jaru to respawn. And Fusion University have ceded a lot of ground here, but want to just take this most defensive corner and stand 1. What is that? I don't know about that charge, man. You had the shield at your back, but you're facing up against the Alarm. He's going to find a couple of kills of his own. Elivo's going to get staggered just a little bit. Well, look, defense here, and this car is in a precarious position as well. Fusion University can just hold straight on top of it. Use it for a little bit of cover too.
My boy, you know, if you're feeding the Fusion Uni, they're hungry, they'll just eat on up. Lots of ultimate charge available now for Fusion University, so much more than Envy, who had very little success over the course of that push. Only Crimson has really managed to do some damage due to the lack of damage drop-off, and of course healing with damage, who did come in with that Harmony Orb. It's going to be a rotation here for Team Envy. They want to go up onto the high ground, but Bernard's well positioned to try and knock them off, potentially get Stand 1 on his own again.
That is the ideal currently. Stand 1 exits himself. There's going to be a big boop actually onto Chungshik, who goes fairly low. But he's going to have to get dealt with at some point. There you go. Zaya finally kind of paying attention to him. Chungshik lowering his shield, 170 HP, wants to be able to preserve that for the oncoming Shatter. He's got a Shatter of his own now built up. Stand 1 not in the greatest situation right now, 10% away. Both rallies going off as well, but Bernard suffers the first kind of loss, but a big shadow coming from the side of Chungshik, and Bernard finds 2 with the self-destruct. What a fight to start off this second push from Team Envy. Instantly evaporated.
Excellent combination there from Bernard and Chungshik, making sure no one could defend themselves from the incoming blast. And you know, the second that you saw that Jaru had popped that rally, he knew that Jaru was going to have to be around the rest of Team Envy a lot, giving him that armor so that he had a good amount of space to try and craft himself a good Earth Shadow. That's exactly what he delivered upon. And now they could potentially hold Team Envy once again at this corner. Instead, they're going to play around the plant pots for that additional physical cover. But Chungshik, already down to half health, needs to get the repair pack potentially. Is given a protected barrier, and Shop's going to hit the grab.
Oh, nice little grab there. And Elivo eats another one. Nice just throwing them, donating them. Currently, this is unbelievable. Elivo's gonna make sure they seal the deal now on this push. Sam1 gonna hit a fat shatter. Nice gets pinned against the wall. And that'll be Team Envy delivering the payload to checkpoint 1. Ah, Chungshik. This is unlucky. It's booped away. Health bar donated to the ult charge of Team Envy.
Stamon with some dominance there. His charge actually knocked back Alarm while also hitting nice. So Alarm was just dropped rather gracefully on top of him and he could swing on through. You aren't really going to win that 1v1 if Reinhardt starts within swinging distance of you, even if you do hit quite a few headshots. And Fire is now, of course, ready to use that sound barrier. Should it be required to repel any incoming aggression from Fusion University, who can just rove on forward with his Transcendence. Alarm's getting them so quickly.
I was going to try and go for a big boot. Self-destruct goes in, but Chungshik's already dead. No shield, no problem for Stam1. Lays down the hammer. Sharp finds 2. Continues to get this payload moving. Not too bad either. 3 ults using that engagement. Now they've got 3 more for the preceding fight.
I love our Team Envy are making multiple win conditions for these fights. They make sure that, sure, if Nice does use that personal barrier to block out the self-destruct, does mean he doesn't have that available and you can just shatter him down, which is exactly what Stand1 did. But now they're lacking in a couple of offensive ultimates, but now Sharp has got his Graviton Surge that's ready to go so long as Bernard does not eat it. Space is being claimed by Envy.
Got to be careful, you got to be watching that defense matrix from Elivo. Sharp throws his grab out. Alarm is going to find a lot of healing with that Transcendence, and Stand1 does end up going down. Does mean the rest of Team Envy are just going to back off rather sharpish, or at least try to. You can see Fusion University actually chasing them out. I mean, why not? Stand1 is going to respawn soon, but Nice building up towards another grab. 10% away now.
Yeah, and Crimson isn't going to have the ability to try and counter that out with a Transcendence. He used it in that last fight, but it was a little bit late. Could not help Stand1. He was so close to that grab, and he was sort of indecisive. Do I want to swing into this? Do I want to hold up my shield? I want to do the damage, Jaws, but it's going to be too much damage to make it happen. Nice can potentially try and weave this grab through here, but Elivo seems to have got his number so far. He's staying a little bit further away right now, but 2 seconds cooldown whenever he lets down that defense matrix could mean that his grab can be weaved through.
As the grab lands on Team Envy, Gyro's going to use the rally as the beat comes out from Fire as well. Chungshik lays down the hammer, but gets stunned up, so can't actually follow up on any of the down members. Fusion University playing a little bit more defensive now. Stand1 using a shadow of his own, but Alarm popping that Transcendence, giving everybody so much healing. And so much space was provided as well, as Team Envy don't really want to fight that mano-a-mano straight on this payload.
Nice defensive self-destruct there from Bernard, making sure no one could go forward, but all of them ults instantly.
Big pick. Graviton Surge is going to lock everything to the payload as well. The self-destruct's going to come up. They've got to block it with the shield. Alarm finds the right click on Elivo as well. Yeah, they trade 1 for 1 in that situation, but now Elivo's done. No tanks already remaining, and Team Envy going back to spawn. A minute remaining, Harry.
Alarm only hits headshots, and Elivo's only got 150 health to play with. When he's remeching, he's frozen in place while he cools down that mech from his gods above, I guess. Nice. Almost has a Graviton Surge ready to go once again. And what can Team Envy do to try and repel this? Fire, Crimson, they don't have what is needed. It's all about Elivo once again. They're going to have to rely on their import, their Swedish magician, to just disappear this Graviton Surge. And even if that does disappear, Chungshik still can try and make a very impressive Earth Shatter, as 40 seconds or so remain for Team Envy to move forward and stay alive in this series.
Ult bank is drained for Team Envy currently. Like I said, 2 tank ults available. Oh, nice. Wanting to throw it under the payload, potentially, try and grab everybody in. Swap sides currently, 20 seconds remain, though.
And now, we're going to see Chungshik moving out of the alcove straight onto Stand1, who has the Discord orb. That's a lot of damage coming through, both onto him and his shield.
Nice, going to throw out the grab. It doesn't get eaten this time around. 3 people caught up, but Crimson using the Transcendence to keep everybody alive. Chungshik still swiping through and has that shadow available to him, but he's now backing off. Slowly but surely, this time is running out. A trance from Alarm to see them through, though, and Sharp gets focused down. Chungshik setting up for the shadow of a lifetime, but Stand1 hits himself. Chungshik's going to fall, but Sharp gets traded out. The beat from Fire, though, was good enough to see them through. The self-destruct launched up into the air, but Nice is going to get cleaned up, and Team Envy managed to cap that grab.
Was interesting. Maybe he thought he could grab him off the payload, but nice. That was not nice, I'm afraid. Chungshik going to be the only ultimate left remaining now for Fusion University. They invested so heavily in that past fight, and Stand1 managing to get so many from down on the ground was a great boon for Team Envy. The clean up was there, and Elevate once again has one of those all-important self-destructs. But as we move further into this 3rd point of Rialto, the further we get away from Team Envy and their spawn, meaning that every lost fight could be fatal to their time bank.
Alarm just approaching the check mark up our side. His name almost got a Transcendence available. Chungshik wants to be able to save shield pressure right now. Self-destruct coming in from Elivo. Chungshik laying the hammer down though. Crimzo hits the ground. He's going to get instantly taken out. Chungshik name all over the kill feed. Jari gets pinned. Weaved in and out of Team Envy to lock him down even. Team Envy now still have 30 seconds. Someone is going to be able to touch, but Ari sets himself to get back into the mech rather quickly. Still one more fight available.
He knows he has some time to play with here, Jaws. Team Envy have to make a long walk back to this pillar. They will be able to touch it, but it's going to be an overtime when they take this fight. And Crimzo there got stunned with the Earth Shadow, was unable to pop back Transcendence as he would like to heal his team up. Fusion University currently dry on the ults, but soon Karkar and Stilo will have theirs available. They've got to be quick though, because they need to outpace Stand One, who has the Earth Shadow ready. He's trying to move through. What in the world is this?
He's trying to make himself known in the back line of Fusion University, but it's just getting booped around. Graviton Surge coming out onto the side. The Shadow hits the shield. Chungship holding firm for the time being, and now Fusion University have tank ults to bear. Graviton Surge onto the payload, and Team Envy have absolutely nothing to deal with it. They get cleaned off of the payload, and Fusion University halt the push.
And once again, Chungshik uses his Shadow to interrupt the potential for a support ultimate. Fire had the sound barrier ready to go, but he had no chance to lay it down because 4 members were found by Chungshik when they were all grouped together, laid down on the floor. The follow-through was there, and now Fusion Uni are in a very winnable position here in our winners final. If they can complete 2 points, get 78.22 meters, that means that they'll be going to our grand finals to play for that gauntlet spot.
A moment of calm in the booth, because they know, like you said, there's a very clear win condition from Fusion University right now. This map won't continue. There won't be more rounds, of course, because the payload wasn't delivered to the 3rd point. Stan One looking very concentrated. That's not really a word. Concentrated? You can't use that.
Concentrated.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think
Can you look concentrated?
I don't think it really applies so much to humans as much as like to fruit juice.
But I was about to say fruit. That's exactly what I was actually thinking of. Which I do miss in European countries, by the way. Why no squash?
Why no squash, dude?
Why no squash? Why no concentrate? Unfortunate. Unlucky. Fusion University on the offense, Envy on the defense. It's going to be the same old, same old. Don't want to mess with success.
And Team Envy, speaking of success, this is where they have been very successful on their defenses. They seem very regimented, very disciplined, and they're definitely in their strongest element when they are defending one of these more perfect locations. Like, Rialto is very heavy when it comes to the 90-degree angles. You've got to take the payload around, and those allow for a lot of physical defense for your Reinhardt, meaning he doesn't have to use as much of his shield health to stay alive while contesting the payload, and that's so important. If you have to use your shield health to contest the payload all the time, your Reinhardt's going to be very quickly underwhelmed, or overwhelmed rather. Stand One going to lose his fire strike there into the gaping maw of Bernard. Once again, we'll try for it. I think he got a couple of hits there.
It's a little bit of a monster. Yeah, trying to push people off the high ground. Exactly what you want to do as a D.Va, ideally. Still taking a whole bunch of damage though. Same with Stand One. Whoa. Couldn't even see where he was looking there, and I don't think he could either, as he loses his mech instantly to Alarm. Now Fusion Uni can play so aggressive. Look at this. Snillo just playing past Chungshik. Doesn't matter at all. Alarm finds 2 people, collects on them, and that'll be Team Envy's push for the time, defense for the time being, thwarted. They still get another chance to spawn positions fairly close to this first point.
That last Torkova also very defensible position. It's going to have to be the one that they use. They cannot really engage in the middle of this road right here. It doesn't offer a huge amount of cover for them. For Fusion University, they're taking advantage of all the aggression that Team Envy have. Envy trying to hit them off guard with an aggressive, fast-paced gameplay, but Alarm is more than ready for it. And now they're going to roll in towards that final corner, and here comes the engagement.
Chungshik is 1% away from that Earth Shadow. Now you've got to be careful. Got to hold your shield, Stand One, but he's got a shadow of his own. Who presses the Q first is Stand One, but he got booped up in the air, so denied a lot of that space. The shadow comes down from Chungshik, forcing Crimzo to use that Transcendence. Tries to find a pin as well, but Crimzo was able to dodge out the way with the additional speed boost the Trance provides.
Indeed he is. There's a Graviton Surge. Everyone's going to get caught in the corner.
Yeah, it's on the side. Just inside there, you can see Chungshik now swinging in. Now Alarm has Transcendence advantage. Although everybody caught up, and Alarm's more than safe here. He's immortal when he's transcending. Nice little kill onto Elivo's mech. The beat comes through a little bit too late. Fusion Uni still want to play a little bit back though. Snillo and Stand One do get traded, but nice. Doing so much work on the sidelines. Look at this grab charge. Mad Lad's almost got another one.
Just tracking this energy. Elivo's got his mech back, but he's just going to find it carved with the name of Nice. As Fusion Uni will roll through the first point, bring an extra 2 minutes and 30 into their time bank and try and hunt down Stan1, who's in an unfortunate position.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, the Sharp still managed to get a kill, but does get finished off rather quickly.
Did give him a little bit of ultimate charge as well, but of course he's not going to be able to carry over the energy like Nice will, having survived that. Chungshik and Nice can now combine with their ultimates to try and maybe create a more unwinnable situation for Team Envy. If Chungshik uses his Earth Shadow first here, he can rebuild it rather quickly by swinging into any Graviton that Nice lays down. And potentially, these ultimates could force out an early Transcendence from Crimzo so that they can follow up rather well.
Stan1 once again. Having to back up a little bit there, was alone for the time being. Both rallies being used as well. Shadow though in the back line. That's 5 people going down. Chungshik gets pinned against the wall as well, but the Transcendence coming out from Alarm to save them. Chungshik is going to get Shadow of his own off, but again, a lot of healing coming through from Crimzo. He used a Transcendence of his own. Now Nice looking for a Graviton Surge, locks people to the box. The bomb's going to come through as well. Elivo finds 1, but Chungshik finds 2, and Bernard finds 3. Fusion University rolling this payload down. And now Team Envy, not sure they're going to be able to touch. They got to defend before third.
Did Team Envy know Stan1 was about to shatter? How do you get a 5-man shatter and not win a fight? The follow-up just wasn't there. Fusion University, imagine counting their lucky stars, and then Bernard just lays the self-destruct on top, adding insult to injury and adding damage to Team Envy that could not support themselves. And now 4 minutes and 30 seconds once again is on the clock for Fusion University. They only have to move a few meters, Jaws, and that means they'll win out our winners finals.
Nice just playing so aggro now. He's just making sure he checks Elivo every single time he oversteps. Alarm hitting so many headshots too. The old charge on this guy is just actually ridiculous. 4 minutes now to get a few more meters.
Team Envy going to make the hit rotation through high ground, will drop down onto the cart and keep it contested, but they're falling low on health, Jaws. They need to divvy up their resources, and to do that, they have to back off. Chungshik has a Shadow ready to go.
Beat's coming out as well. Chungshik going so low, but Alarm's going to heal him up with the Transcendence. The Shadow hits the floor from Stan1, but a Graviton Surge is there to follow up. Can Stan1 find anybody? Yes, he can. Chungshik's going to go down. Karkar's going to follow. Team Envy hold the payload for the time being. We'll start to roll back ever so slightly, but Fusion U've got a lot of time to play with.
Sharp's Graviton there also in a great position to put Chungshik on top of the cart, meaning that there was the ability for Stan1 to go up there and get the charge on through. He knew that Alarm could not put himself between the elevated Chungshik and an incoming charge, and also it meant that Chungshik, while he was stuck in that Graviton Surge, would be less than confident about laying down the Earth Shadow because the interactions between the elevations can be a little bit iffy, might not get exactly what he wanted, and now he's going to have a chance to try and make it work by himself.
Shadow advantage for Chungshik, not for long though. His Stan just managed to get his online. They're playing so safe. Jara's got the rally going on, so you don't really want to fight that. Wait to actually, the armor not dissipating, but waiting for the ultimate to kind of wear away, so the armor isn't continually rebuilding.
Chungshik can force out the Transcendence here with an Earth Shadow.
Look at this, Jaru actually Jaru tries something, it's so risky. Jumping behind Chungshik to try and find something. Nice boop onto Chungshik, kept alive with the armor pack and beat though. This is bad news for Team Envy as they lose another one. Elivo's going to go down as well. One more fight for Fusion. And they will place themselves in the finals.
And Team Envy invested reasonably well into that fight. They used the rally, they used the Earth Shadow. Fusion University have kept a hold of this Graviton Surge. And not only that, Nice has the energy to try and make this work, Jaws. Fusion Uni are drawing ever closer to putting themselves into our grand finals and knocking Team Envy down to the losers bracket. One fight is all that's in it, but there's still 2 minutes of a time bank. They can lose this pretty comfortably and still come on back. There's the rally from Snillo.
They don't want to do it though. Sharp's got a grab. That's going to be the saving grace of Team Envy because Stan1 is already dead. Grab comes out. The bomb's going to come through as well. 2 grabs on top of each other. But Bernard finds 3. Fusion University sink the payload in and land themselves with a spot in the finals.
2 triple bombs from Bernard, burning away the competition. They may be burning blue in the Overwatch League, but they're burning away to the losers bracket here at Atlantic Showdown. Fusion University going to be the first of your teams to qualify for our grand finals to fight for North America's additional gauntlet spot.
What an insane performance, and from both teams. Elivo just the grab eater, but it doesn't matter in the end. Not that you've got Bernard on the enemy team as well, just letting fat self-destructs, and Chungshik with these ridiculous shatters. Stan1 was able to stand up against him, but the overwhelming power of Alarm in the backline as well, pushing them forward, dealing so much damage. netted them the victory.
How do you win the support alt economy game when there's no economy for Alarm? He just uses it whenever he likes to. And during that match, evidently, Fusion Uni could feel the energy behind them. We've got Fusion Uni's own support crew right behind us here in the front row with their signs and everything. Such a great sort of like thing that we have support for all of our teams here, not just for European ones, while we are in Krefeld, Germany.
Fusion University, undefeated, still feeling pretty good. Got a place in our finals tomorrow, like you just mentioned. And how do you beat that, man? Like you said, how do you win that support alt economy when Alarm's generating them so quickly? Crimzo was doing a good job at like keeping up with them, but it just the output of pressure is just actually insane.
He only hits headshots.
Exactly.
He just does so much damage. And even if he's not getting the final blows, that means you need to put in resources to get your team healed up again so you're ready to push. And while you're putting in resources towards people who suffered headshots, who peaked Alarm too early, that's when Stand 1 takes too much damage and dies because you can't support him as he'd expect because somehow this Zenyatta has just done 500 damage to you and you don't know how.
Just like we've got an interview lined up though with Snillo. We're going to jump over to Anna right now.
Hi, thank you. I'm here with Snillo. So make some noise for Snillo. Yeah. Congratulations on your win again. And Fusion University has players from South Korea, Sweden, and the US. How is the communication in the team?
Well, yeah, I think we communicate in both English and Korean, and it's not the best, if I'm being honest. But yeah, so we talk English, like everyone speaks a bit of English, and then sometimes Neist and Changsik or Neist and Bernard speaks Korean to each other, like quick calls and stuff, but mostly we talk English, yeah.
So when they speak Korean, you and Karkar are just like, sure.
Yeah, pretty much. We can sometimes understand it because like of the context, but yeah, we...
Yeah, that's good. So you have a big winning history in all the contenders and everything, 4 contenders titles. And how do you guys keep giving your best in game even though you're always winning?
Well, it's hard actually. Sometimes our practice usually isn't the best, and but yeah, usually whenever we have a match, something just happens and we kick into like an extra gear, and everyone plays at their full potential, and we just manage to win almost every time.
Great, congratulations again. Back to Joss and Leg Day.
Thank you very much, guys. There we go. Coming in Korean and in English. A little bit tough, but hey, it's working out for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting little mix, but it seems like all the right information is being disseminated amongst everyone who is playing because they always seem on the same page. And I always love to see Fusion Uni when they lose Changsik because basically, when they lose Changsik, usually Alarm will just pop Transcendence and they swarm like hornets all over one person. They just try and get the equality of the pick as soon as possible, try and create a 5v5 scenario because they're so good at skirmishing. When the fight breaks down, that's when Fusion Uni are at their most dangerous. And here he is, finally out of the booth. We do have Karkar joining us.
There you go, mate.
Fan club's here.
Winners finals now. Must be quite a relief as well. Like now you can sit back, relax, just for a moment.
Yeah, I think Envy was one of our best, or one of the best candidates here. So it feels really good to beat them.
Right now, NA is looking pretty indomitable. You guys have already knocked one EU team out of the competition. Do you think that in the upcoming match between Atlanta and Angry Titans that you're sending the other EU team home as well as a region?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we rolled them once, so it might be easy to roll them again.
All right, okay, just go easy on us, all right?
Yikes. Yikes.
Now, we've heard how hard it is to actually kill Alarm. And like you're obviously one of the main components of that, actually keeping him alive, obviously playing Lucio and booping people away from him. And we've heard from teams like, oh, Alarm is so good, dude. Like, but the issue is a lot of the time it's armor packs being donated to him, boops as well. And he's such a hard carry for the team when it comes to backline damage. And some of your boops has just been so precise as well. Was there kind of a big overall game plan you wanted to focus going against MV? Was it like focus a tank, or were you talking about focusing the backline?
Well, I think it's a balance between peeling for your flex support and looking for those like critical boops on the Rhine that'll win you the fights. So it's really just, I guess, finding a balance. Nilo does a great job of also peeling for him when I'm maybe looking for a boop. And when he screams to peel him, the whole team peels him, so...
When Alarm says peel,
the whole team, yeah.
Well, you guys have now beaten every team that remains in the competition. You've beaten Atlanta, you've beaten Angry Titans, you've beaten Envy. You've only dropped one map through the entire thing. So Atlantic Showdown, is it now for you guys moving into the grand finals just easy clap?
Yeah, I think it will be pretty easy. Whether it's Angry Titans or Atlanta, I think it's going to be an easy match. We've beaten both teams dominantly by 3-0, so I don't think grand finals would change anything.
Fair enough. It's only a first to 4. Means that it might be slightly less control, which is where you guys obviously are your most dominant, but you always seem to start off on the right foot because you guys just skirmish so well.
Yeah, I don't know how we do it, but control is just our heart, and we'll like always win it, I guess.
It's your game mode.
Yeah.
Well, there
That's
you go.
what I'm trying to say.
Thank you very much, Karkar, for joining us on the sofa. Good luck in your game tomorrow, of course. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. We've got game number 4 coming up soon.